Welcome to the October 9, 2024 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 5 p.m. Prior to taking call, I would like to make it clear that for the record, that open session portion of the board meeting will be conducted pursuant to Brown Act teleconferencing provision. President Harvey Luth is participating from 407 North Virginia Street, Reno, Nevada, 89501. I will now take roll call in open session. And Director John DeMonico.
Present.
Director Tom Howie.
Here.
Director Mike Krieger is on his way. And myself present, and I have President Harvey Luth via teleconference. Board members, please. Okay, thank you, Harvey.
Sure.
Board members, please make sure you comment. When you comment, turn your microphones on and talk directly into it. So closed session, the Board of Directors will meet in closed session to discuss the following items. Conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6, agency negotiators, Special Legal Counsel John Paquette, Atkinson, Andelson, lawyer Rudd and Romo, Fire Chief Dave Williams, Human Resources Director Anthony Arroyo, and Finance Director Mark Shaker. Employee organizations, Teamsters Local 1932 Non-Safety Unit, and unrepresented management, confidential, and part-time employees. Clerk of the Board, do we have any requests, public comments in this closed session item?
Vice President Ramos-Evinger, we do have a request to speak, and just for the record, this is the time to address the board on the closed session matters. Please state your name and address prior to making your remarks, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Chris Roberts.
Good evening, President Luth, members of the board. My name is Chris Roberts, the Senior IT Support Analyst for the Fire District. I've been an employee for the district for just over 9 years. Prior to being an employee, I was contracted to support the district for over 8 years, totaling 16 years of support. I'm a member of the confidential bargaining unit and not management, even though my duties reflect those of a manager. I've often been mentioned as an IT manager, even an IT director, during my staff reports, as the level of work I do reflects that title. However, my title and my benefits do not reflect that. Instead, I will lose my overtime pay and be substituted with 60 administrative leave hours, but no other management benefits. This makes me the only exempt non-management staff. We're a public safety agency, and overtime is unavoidable even for IT, as technology doesn't turn off at night. The district is saving $12,500 annually by making this change, even though the overtime was approved during this year's budget process. The district has always been transparent in the past, properly outlining and planning for positions through the budget process and strategic planning, but I cannot say that today. Even though I'm not a safety employee, I do not receive on-call pay. I'm not required to respond after hours per my job description, and I've always responded and answered calls during vacations, holidays, family events, my kids' sporting events. I have worked through all hours of the night to ensure the district's technology operates and allows employees to do their jobs. As you know, technology doesn't shut off when my shift ends, but must continue to work 24/7 as we're a public safety agency. Despite my discouragement here today, the district has always supported and valued technology to provide better service. I hope we could see the need to align our IT staffing model to reflect the same value. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments.
That is the only request to speak. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? Please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason.
I shut it off.
Oh, thank you. All right, let me start over. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Rivera, for those that don't know me. I am the president for Teamsters, Chino Valley Fire District's Teamsters. I did want to just acknowledge we, the administration personnel here, will be speaking about our contract and expressing our concerns about feeling undervalued and disrespected. While we will present our views respectfully, I just want you to know that that we will be respectful in every way as far as during our statements that we'll be giving. So we just ask that the board will take our concerns seriously and treat us with fairness and consideration. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Is there anyone else present who would like to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none.
Okay, seeing none, at this time, I'm going to adjourn to closed session. And let me see here. I will adjourn the open session to closed session. We'll return to open session at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone. All right, I'm going to reopen the meeting to open session. Welcome to the October 9th, 2024 regular meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 6 p.m. We will now open the meeting and take roll. Director John DeMonico.
Here.
Okay. Director Tom Howie.
Here.
Director Mike Krieger.
Here.
Myself, present, and President Harvey Luth.
Present here.
Okay. We're going to report out of closed session. Legal counsel, please report out of closed session.
Thank you. There's no reportable action out of the closed session items read into the record this evening.
Okay, thank you. Director Krieger, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Sure, please stand. Please join me in honoring our great nation. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and if everyone can please remain standing, and I am going to ask Fire District Chaplain Adam Hoody, please join us to please preside the
Thank you.
invocation. Thank you.
Thank you. Let us pray. Father God, we just come thanking you, Father, for your love, your kindness, and your mercy that you show us daily, Lord. Father, I just want to lift up tonight's meeting, Father, and all the decisions that are made, that you would be censored at those decisions during the meeting, Father. I want to lift up the Chino Valley residents, Father, of Chino and Chino Hills, Father, that you would protect them, put a hedge of protection over all of our Chino Valley, Lord, and that you would be with them and meet them where they're at, Lord. I also want to lift up our fire district and also all of our firefighters out there, Lord, that you would just protect them on the daily as they go in and out of their workforce, Lord. And I pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much. Okay, Clerk of the Board, do we have any changes to the agenda?
Vice President Sarah Ramos-Evinger, we have one change to the agenda. Agenda item number 7 will be presented to the board following the presentations and announcements, as well as a brief break. And no other changes to the agenda. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. First item on our agenda is presentations and announcements. And our first item on the agenda is a presentation by Director Steve Eli of the Inland Empire Utilities Agency. Director Eli, if you could please come forward. Thank you. And Vice President Sarah Ramos-Evinger and Fire Chief Williams, if you could please join us.
So, this is a treat. This is the kind of the fun things that us elected people get to do sometimes. That's always positive. Our agency has a great relationship with the fire district, but this is actually endemic of the relationship we have with the line people, with everybody who works for the fire district and makes it successful. In early September, I believe it was on the 2nd, there was a fire at Prado Golf Course, which is right adjacent to significant facilities of our agency. In fact, one of the facilities that are nearby is in the middle of a $400 million rebuild. And the firefighters kept our staff informed, kept everything under control. It didn't get to anywhere near our structures. And so we at the IUA board wanted to show our appreciation for the fire department in general and The certificate reads, in appreciation for the presented to the Chino Valley Fire District, in appreciation for their response and mitigation of the El Prado Golf Course fire. They worked swiftly to ensure that businesses in the community, including the Inland Empire Utility Agency's headquarters and 2 regional plants, remain safe. We value our ongoing partnership and are grateful for the exceptional communication and support provided during this incident. The communication was amazing with our staff, and all of our facilities are safe, and so we can continue to do the service that we do for the public because you all did the service that you do for the public. So just a little small token of our appreciation. So, give it to Dave.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just say give it to you.
I feel a little bit awkward holding this, so I hold this for all you guys. For your leadership.
That's okay. Thank you, Steve.
The next item on our agenda is proclamations. This evening, we have 2 proclamations. The complete proclamations are available on our website and part of our agenda packet. The first proclamation is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay, thank you very much. Breast cancer touches the lives of Americans from every background and every community across the nation. And during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we honor those who have lost, lend our strength to those who carry on the fight, and pledge to educate ourselves and our loved ones about the tragic disease and the importance of early detection. This month we stand with those who have been affected by breast cancer, and together are resolved toward a future free from cancer in all forms. The Fire District Board of Directors would like to proclaim October as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank you. The next proclamation is Fire Prevention Week, and we call up Fire Marshal Danielle O'Toole, who will accept the proclamation.
And wearing my favorite scarf. Fire Prevention Week commemorates the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which killed more than 250 people, left 100,000 homeless, destroyed more than 17,400 buildings, and burned more than 2,000 acres. Today's fire kills more than 3,000 people in the United States each year. More than 80% of all fire deaths occur in the home. The Chino Valley Fire District is committed to the safety of life and property from devastating effects of fire and calls upon the people of Chino Valley to participate in fire safety and preparedness. The Fire District Board of Directors would like to proclaim the week of October 6th through 12th, 2024 as Fire Prevention Week.
Thank you. So I just want to thank the board, and I know that each city council recognizes this week, and it is a very significant week. I remember learning about this when I first started out in my career. But again, it's just really this week, because of the theme is smoke alarms make them work for you. So I would just implore everyone in this room that if you don't test your smoke alarms regularly, even in the professions that we are, it is really important to do so. If you don't change out your batteries, I encourage you to change them out every 6 months. Change your clock, change your battery. And then also, most importantly, is that if your smoke alarms are over 10 years old, they need to be replaced because you really want them to function when you need them. So thank you, Chief. Thank you, Board.
Thank you.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is Employee Service Awards for 5 years of service, and we invite Information Technology Specialist Natalie Ceballos to please come forward.
Okay, Natalie Ceballos joined the Chino Valley Fire District in October 2019 as an information technology specialist. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science from California State University, Fullerton. In addition to providing essential ET support to the district, Natalie also serves as a Community Liaison Officer, a CLO. The role involves responding after hours and assists individuals affected by loss or displacement in their homes. Beyond her professional duties, Natalie volunteers as a treasurer for the Chino Valley Fire Foundation, where she assists with coordinating and actively participates in the foundation's events. Congratulations, Natalie, on your 5 years of service.
And now this is when you get to hear me. So Natalie, when she came to us, is, I think everybody can attest to across the entire organization. She's very, very easy to talk to, very easy to get along with. Anytime you get into a pinch, no matter how hard the issue seems when it's related to IT, she's always really, really willing to help and solves issues fairly, fairly quickly. So we thank you very much for all you do. Super, super helpful in keeping us productive and moving forward. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
Next, Employee Service Award for 10 years of service. We invite up firefighter paramedic Chris Nelson.
Chris Nelson began with the Chino Valley Fire District in 2014. Chris attended Mount Sac for the Fire Academy and then Crafton Hills College to be a paramedic. Prior to joining Chino Valley, he worked as an ER tech for Pomona Valley's ER while he was in college and medic school. He also worked for AMR Rancho as a paramedic, then Rancho Fire for 5 years, and he was assigned to Truck and Helicopter 165 as a flight medic. Chris currently is part of the Burn Cadre for live fire training and is assigned to Station 61 C Shift. Congratulations, Chris, on your 10 years of service.
Chris, I had the opportunity to work with Chris when I promoted to captain, and him and Mark Hughes always made the day so pleasurable. Chris is a funny guy, kind of keeps to himself sometimes, but a wealth of knowledge, as you can see, worked at some other places, came to us, and so we're very, very happy to have you, brother. Now it's time to shift gears and start climbing the ladder for us. Sorry to put you on blast, but don't let your talents go to waste. It's all good. I figured I tried mentoring, it didn't work, so now I'm gonna try some other routes.
Okay, we have another Employee Service Award for 10 years of service, and we invite up firefighter paramedic Phil Vasquez.
Okay. Phil Vasquez joined the Chino Valley Fire District in 2014. Phil found his calling in public service at the young age of 15, where he worked as a lifeguard for the city of Chino Hills. Phil's career experience before joining Chino Valley Fire District include being a personal trainer, an EMT with Cole Schaefer Ambulance, a paramedic, and at American Medical Response, an apprentice fireman at Laverne Fire, and a recruit firefighter for Pasadena Fire. Phil currently leads the Chino Valley Fire Explorer program as well as the CPR Cadre Heart Safe Bleed Safe programs. He serves on the marketing committee and teaches certification community classes. Phil is assigned to Station 67 C Shift, and congratulations, Phil, on your 10 years of service.
So I didn't think Phil could get any more handsome until I saw him and what the hair would look like. And on a serious note, if you're from this community, you've likely run across Phil at some point. Besides all the wonderful work he does for the district, he's highly engaged in our foundation. So if you're out at any of our businesses or taking any of our CPR training and run across our AEDs and any of the local businesses, or in some cases homes, it's likely that you've met Phil. You're a testament to what we're about. We appreciate your heart and your commitment to this organization, but to this community. It goes well beyond what the expectations are. So we appreciate you. That's all I can say. Thank you, Chief.
Next, we recognize firefighter paramedic Casey Visioni, who unfortunately could not be with us tonight.
Okay, so firefighter paramedic Casey Viscioni was not able to attend the meeting. Although he was not able to be here with us tonight, we want to recognize his service. Casey began his career with the Chino Valley Fire District in 2014. Casey attended Santa Ana College and the Columbia Southern University. He worked in construction management before beginning his fire career as an ambulance operator in Huntington Beach, then a private ambulance company before he was limited-term firefighter paramedic for the San Bernardino County Fire. Casey is newly appointed fire investigator. He also handles the Knox keys to the cities as a part of the SCBA repair and testing program. Casey is currently assigned to Station 63C shift. Congratulations on your 10 years of service.
Next, again, was unable to attend tonight's meeting, engineer Andrew Hubbard.
Okay, Engineer Andrew Hubbard was not able to attend the meeting. Although he could not be here with us tonight, we also want to recognize his service. Andrew Hubbard began with the Chino Valley Fire District in 2014. Andrew began his career as a reserve firefighter with the Orange County Fire Authority and became a firefighter with Kern County Fire Department before coming to Chino Valley Fire District. Andrew was promoted to engineer in 2021 and is currently assigned to 62C shift. Congratulations, Andrew, for your 10 years of service.
Next, Employee Award for 10 years of service, Captain Mark Hughes.
Okay, Captain Mark Hughes began with the Chino Valley Fire District in 2014. Mark attended Crafton Hills College for EMS fire service and general education. After he completed paramedic school in 2002, he transferred to the University of Redlands, where he graduated with a bachelor's in business management. Prior to joining Chino Valley, he worked full-time for the CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Riverside County Fire as a firefighter paramedic for 5 years and engineer paramedic for 2 years. Mark was promoted to captain in 2019 and is currently assigned to Station 61A shift, where he serves as the shift investigator unit lead as well as dispatch coordinator with Chino Valley and Con Fire. Congratulations, Mark, on your 10 years of service.
So Chris was up here earlier. When I worked with Chris, it was Chris and Mark were my two firefighters. And sometimes in the fire service, you'll find a group of men that mesh very well, and they just make coming to work so really enjoyable. So this is your moment. Besides the two of you being really handsome when we go into places, you guys are very thoughtful, respectful. You really reflect our values of our organization. I'm fairly certain that you're going to be wearing black uniform here, so the rest of you get rid of that for that pretty soon. But we really appreciate all you do. You add such value. You're very thoughtful, and you have a ton of insightful ways about you, and we appreciate your looking out for the district like you do. So thank you. You got it.
Our next Employee Recognition Award for 10 years of service is Captain Brett Underwood.
Okay. Captain Brent Underwood was unable to attend the meeting. Although he could not be here with us tonight, we want to recognize his service. Captain Brent Underwood began his career with Chino Valley Fire in October 2014 as a firefighter paramedic. Before joining the Chino Valley Fire District, Brett worked with CAL FIRE as a part of the San Bernardino unit as a firefighter. Brett earned his associate's degree from Crafton Hills College and earned a bachelor's degree in EMS administration from Columbia Southern University. He is a member of the Hazmat and USAR Urban Search and Rescue Team. Brett has extensive expertise in handling hazardous materials and responding to complex emergency situations. Brett is also a member of the burn cadre and has specialized skills in controlled burns and fire management. In November 2023, Brett was promoted to the rank of captain and is currently leading the A shift for Station 63. Congratulations, Brett, for your 10 years of service.
And next is the Employee Service Awards for 15 years of service, and that is Human Resource Specialist Angelica De La Torre.
Okay, so Angelica De La Torre was not able to attend the meeting. Although she's not here, we again want to recognize her for her service. Angelica De La Torre began her employment with the Chino Valley Fire District in March of 2009. And in 2014, she was promoted to her current position as Human Resource Specialist, specializing in benefits and risk management. As a Human Resource Specialist, Angelica oversees benefits like health, dental, retirement, life, and vision. Angelica also coordinates the district's workmen's compensation program, and she serves as the liaison between district employees, claims administrators, and healthcare professionals to acquire the help and care our personnel deserves. Congratulations, Angelica, on your 15 years of service. Sure, sorry, you guys. Okay.
Next is our Employee Service Awards for 20 years of service, and we invite Fire Inspector Edmund Kativis to please come forward.
Edmund Quintevis began at the Chino Valley Fire District in 2002 as a reserve fire inspector and became an auxiliary worker in 2004, which is now known as our support service technician. Edmund earned his bachelor's in science degree in industrial engineering from Adamson University, undergraduate master degree in management from Ateneo de Manila Graduate School. Prior to joining the fire district, Edmund worked with GTE International, now Verizon, and was assigned to the Colombo, Sri Lanka as a quality assurance manager. Edmund became a fire inspector in 2008 and was selected as the Fire District's Employee of the Year in 2006. He also received a special employee recognition at the board meeting in December 2006 and in 2013 for excellence in support of the Fire District. Congratulations, Edmund, on your 20 years of service.
So it's probably no shock that our community risk reduction isn't necessarily glamorous to some. Edmund is very well-versed in our weed abatement program. We have a significant amount of wildland interface here, and without folks like Edmund making sure that we're complying and keeping the community safe by informing them, educating them, and then sometimes holding the level of accountability that's appropriate. Edmund's always been very responsive to assist me with us helping the community maintain that. So we thank you very much for all you do. So thank you.
How sweet is that?
Our next 20 years of service recognition is Engineer Kyle Colonna.
Kyle Colonna started his fire service career working for 4 seasons as a U.S. Forest Service, for the U.S. Forest Service, Dalton Hotshots, and 4 years as an AMR paramedic. Kyle joined the Chino Valley Fire District in 2004. In 2013, Kyle was promoted to engineer. Kyle also serves as a member of the Urban Search and Rescue Team, Honor Guard, Peer Support, and the Chino Valley Fire District Pipes and Drums. Congratulations, Kyle, on your 20 years of service.
So it's probably probably gonna sound really weird if I start saying how good looking Kyle is, so I won't say that. But with that being said, we do our job, our folks do our job very, very well. And it's the things that take them beyond, responding out there, which is what we're expected. But if you look at a lot of the programs that we have today, a lot of them will link directly back to Kyle. We talk about our pipes and drums. We talk about the honor guard. So any of those events that you're seeing out there in the community, a lot of those were initiated initiated by Kyle. And now we talk about our peer support program. All these things those are such value adds back to the community outside of us doing what the expectations are. So Kyle, we can't thank you enough. You continually make our organization the next tier for doing things like that on your own time and effort. And I certainly appreciate it, and I know the community does. So thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our presentations and announcements. And before we take a break, Vice President Sarah Ramos-Evinger, Fire Chief, and the honorees could please step forward for a group photo. Thank you.
That's all of you.
All of them, all of you.
Is this going to be where the short guy has to get in the front of the line again? Yep.
Boy, I stick out like a sore thumb.
Let's get a couple of you guys on. Let's get a couple of you guys. Let's get one more guy on that side to sort of balance this photo out.
I just gotta get one.
All right.
Thank you. We'll now take a short recess.
Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is agenda item number 7, agreement with Citygate Associates to update CVFD standards of cover assessment and master plan. Purpose is to review, discuss, and approve a contract with Citygate Associates in an amount not to exceed $87,193. Authorize a project contingency of up to 10% of the contract amount in the event of contract modifications requested by the district, and provide authority to the fire chief to execute related contract documents on behalf of the district. Staff report by Fire Chief Dave Williams.
Thank you, Angela. And so I'd like to go ahead and have IT prepare for our presentation. I believe Stu, can you just confirm, Stu Gary, can you just confirm that you can hear?
Correct.
Okay, so for the community's purview, we do have Stu Gary from Citygate Associates on remotely on our intercom, going to be providing tonight's presentation related to our standards of cover. And then I'll read the recommendation following Mr. Gary's report. So Stu, you have the floor, and we can see everything on our end.
Very good. Thank you, Chief, and good evening, President, members of the board. Pleasure to be with you. I'm Stuart Gary, the Public Safety Principal for Citygate Associates. That's a mouthful, and what's it mean? The talking head that you can't see at the moment. I've spent my life literally in the fire and EMS service. I'm on a second career doing consulting in fire department master planning, EMS, ambulance system design, and also police. In public safety, we do a tremendous amount of planning and have for a considerable number of years. Your staff asked for an update into what's called a standards of cover, which is the deployment and the back office logistics of the fire department to provide those frontline customer service assessments. Our previous SOC and headquarters assessment and fiscal master plan update was done for you all in 2018. We have other extensive Southern California experience. Our current and recent clients include the Orange County Fire Authority, Glendale, Burbank, Santa Monica, City of Los Angeles, and others, to name a few. I want to stress to the board, we do not practice a one-size-fits-all canned national standards approach. The results of our projects are routinely accepted by all the stakeholders as being factual to their needs and the risks to be protected, fire, EMS, and technical rescue. The project approach and methodology has 5 macro steps to conducting one. We request startup information, documentation, and electronic incident data from the staff. We conduct a community risk assessment. The standards of response cover process doesn't start with number of personnel or response time. It starts with the risks to be protected in a community, in a fire district. What you, the policy officials, want as mitigations when those risks have a bad day and call 911. What's an acceptable level of outcome to different types of risks? Once we know the preferred policy outcome, the lessen injury severity, mitigate risks, we then can back calculate the number of men and women on the types of equipment over the requisite timelines to deliver that desired level of customer service. So to do that, we look at emergency medical services, both in your case, transport, first response, wildland firefighting, technical rescue, and all other specialty services. In another slide, I'll talk in a moment about reviewing and evaluating the district's administrative support functions. And we'll then prepare and submit a comprehensive analysis-based final report. So the work plan steps, as I've stated, are after we get the background information, we will do the deployment update on the location and, more importantly, in your case, not so much this time the emphasis on where to put an additional station, but on the workload per crew per hour, and are you maintaining response time goals, especially during peak demand hours of the day, and are your interagency cooperative agreements working properly? Then in task 3, we take a deep dive at headquarters services and assess the headquarters team's bandwidth ability to meet all the safety, fiscal, governance regulations provided for frontline fire services. You can't do it without safety training, record keeping, fleet, IT. All of those logistical support functions have to be properly staffed, but also have to operate within very strict nowadays federal and state safety requirements. We'll then wrap around that a complete assessment update with a draft and final report to you all in a public meeting. So task 1, just very briefly, when we ask about data, what's that mean? We're going to ask for quite a bit of written data, policies, procedures, budgets, internal structural documents. We also get multiple years of electronic incident data and GIS, geographic mapping layers, so we can portray the types of risks of the topography that you're protecting. We'll meet with key management team and other project stakeholders and do some listening. Then when we do the SOC assessment, we're going to look at outcome expectations, use that risk assessment, which is very deep and wide. Critical task analysis, how many people on the fire ground simultaneously, effectively, do all the tasks to deliver your board's desired outcome. Distribution and concentration is the spacing of the right types of equipment and personnel across the geography. Every neighborhood wants its first due fire company. That's distribution. But concentration is we can't space the stations so far apart when you need an effective multi-unit, multiple firefighter heavy response, they get there too late to prevent the situation from escalating into greater alarms. We'll look historically using the incident demand data as to how you have been performing and wrap that with some overall findings and recommendations. Just a quick example of GIS, current contemporary to client Palm Springs, where the computer does travel time analysis against the policy goals, and we look for gaps in analysis. This is a unit hour utilization table. It's busy. On the left-hand side are 24 hours of a day, and on the top of the columns are unit IDs in another department. And what we're looking for here is averaged over a 365-day period, what percent of each hour is each company committed to open 911 incidents? Because the redder bands here at peak hours of the day, especially for 5 of the units in this table, really extend from 9 in the morning to well into late dinner time. And if you're running out of units doing mostly mess calls at peak hours of the day, are the crews getting trained? Are they getting rest? Are they doing equipment maintenance? And are enough of them available should a severe first alarm happen that you can still respond with a heavy weight of attack as needed? When we go through headquarters, we'll look at the staffing, the lines of authority, the supervision, the regulatory compliance records, the technical competence of both the information systems and the personnel, and their certifications, look at their working capacity, and then refine performance measures as needed for the chief and you all to consider. We also look for what we call our single points of failure. All too common in agencies of any size to have one or two people really, really good at something, and they never cross-train their replacements, and they don't think about what happens if Joe or Mary gets tragically ill or injured and is off work for months at a time, and somebody else isn't cross-trained to do their job. We'll look at projected population and development growth as it stretches the department, the emerging demography that you're serving in your part of the county, and try to project future service demand based on how much growth we see. And then we take all of those wrapped together and say, what facility needs might you need in a master plan? What fleet needs might you need? And what's the evolving EMS need? So we take the as-is situation to the growth potential and say, what might you need to prepare for, budget for, plan for down the road? We'll conduct a mid-project preliminary findings briefing with the chief and the staff so they'll see the emerging technical information, reach alignment on it. Then we prepare a draft report that's fact-checked with staff, and then we'll deliver a final report to you all in a public briefing. We also have an option. You'll notice it's in the budget. I won't spend more than a minute on this now. But increasingly, clients are saying, hey, on our website, just hosting a written report isn't enough. So we offer an audio module, or an auto mod, where we interview members of the board, the fire chief, and talk about the importance of the study and the master plan and what the district is going to do in the coming years to deal with the issues running it. So it's just another way of community involvement after the fact, completely an option. Some agencies like it, some agencies don't use it. The project schedule will take 6 months from contract signing, all those different tasks on the list. And then the expenses are in the report, total project cost, which is hourly consulting fees, administration costs, travel expenses, and also to do the travel time mapping, we go purchase state-of-the-art GIS data that has traffic congestion data embedded in it. And then you've got the auto mod option. And with that, thank you very much for the patience and the listening. The chief and I are here to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much for that report. Clerk of the board, do we have any requests to speak on this agenda?
We have no written request to speak on this item. Is anyone present who would like to address the board on this item at this time? Okay, seeing none.
Okay. This is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions and make your comments when I call your name. Director DeMonico.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Director Tom Howie.
No questions. I think it was a very good detailed report. Thank you.
Okay. Director Krieger.
Yeah, I have no questions as well. This is kind of how we come up with the blueprint for the future needs of the district and how to evolve. So it's good to get this updated.
Okay. President Luth.
I don't have questions either. I just really appreciate the presentation. Look forward to the results, to what we're going to learn and how it will benefit our community. So thank you.
Okay, and I don't have any questions. We've been through this before. I'm really glad that we are updating it. It's been some time. And I thank you very much for the report today. At this time, I'd like to At this time, I'd like to request a motion.
I probably need to make the recommendation first,
Oh,
Vice
sorry.
President, that's
I'm
okay.
jumping ahead.
Stuart, it sounds like there's no questions for you. Thank you very much for your time in the report. We certainly appreciate it. And tonight's recommendation is recommended that the Board of Review discuss and approve the contract with Citygate and Associates for an update on the standards of coverage assessment and update the district's master plan in an amount not to exceed $87,193. Authorize a project contingency of up to 10% of the contract amount in the event of contract modifications requested by the district, and provide authority to the fire chief to execute related contract documents on behalf of the district.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Okay, so I have a motion from Director Howie.
I'll second.
I have a second from Director Krieger. I will take a roll call voice vote. And Director DeMonico,
Yes.
Director Howie,
Yes.
Director Krieger,
Yes.
President Luth,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, the motion passes.
The next item on our agenda is public communication. This is the time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address prior to making your remarks, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I do have several written requests to speak. Vice President Ramos Evinger, and I'll begin with the first one, Andy Romaine.
Thank you, Clerk. President Luth, hope you can hear me, Vice President Ramos Evinger, Directors, Chief, Public, was hoping some stakeholders from each council would be here, but I'm here tonight to address a statement or a rumor or something that's been coming from the board stating that the union is recruited me to come try to take out one of these board members. And really, nothing could be further from the truth. So I have a really quick timeline to try to update everybody or just present the facts. And this all started, my whole path to come here started in 2019. If you remember back then, we had a board director that was a little bit off. And so a lot of people were concerned about him, and the board was taking action. And I chose at that time to really become involved in the fire district and come here and speak against him. It was, that was in February, or for the March meeting of 2019. Right after that meeting, I had the chance to meet with one of the directors, Director DeMonico, who contacted me to see about running a recall against that member or try to get the union to run a recall. I was working and I really couldn't do the time, but at that time he asked me. He said, "Hey, you know what? I'm tired. I'm looking to step out. I really would like. Interested if you'd like to run." And I said, "Yeah, I'd be very interested in running, and but I'm working, and I will come forward and try to do that after I retire." Fast forward, I try to attend every meeting since then. So 3 years of attending meetings. You guys have all seen me here. I'm probably the only person from the public here. Fast forward, I go to 2022, I retire in May and decide, okay, I've retired, now I'm going to start moving down the path to try to get a seat on this board. February of this year came up because of the way the districts are. I didn't have the ability to run till this year, so I texted Director DeMonico to talk to him about it because he had asked me to run. And he never responded, so in the March meeting or this year, I talked to him personally and said, "Hey, John, I texted you. I'd like to run and I'd like to meet with you to talk about it." And unfortunately, he's never responded to me, and to this day, he still hasn't responded back after talking to me. The path forward, it just so chance I reached out to a respected member that happened to give a proclamation tonight, and that was Steve Eli, just to ask him some how do I even start this process, and that was in May. So he gave me a few hints, but it told me he'd be supporting John, which I fully understand. Moving forward, I pulled all my paperwork and filed everything, actually filed for this job before I even met with the union, either union. So this whole thing is to dispel it because what has come forward is one of the councils has now thrown out there that they would like to possibly pull out of the fire district. So this is a statement was made that really affects the fabric of the council. So I see my time is up.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your time.
I was gonna ask you to please wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
And the next speaker is Ellen Taitula.
Good evening, board members. My name is Ellen Taitula, and I'm married to Chino Valley professional firefighter Jeff Taitula. Jeff has been a dedicated employee to the district for over 30 years. He has spent a good portion of his career serving this department on the union, which has afforded our family the opportunity to get to know most of you on a more personal level and have enjoyed doing so. Jeff has always answered any phone calls, text messages, and/or emails from any of you. Yes, he even answered a phone call from a director from my hospital bedside as I was waiting surgery to remove cancer before I knew my prognosis. If you call, he'll answer. That holds true not only for all of you, but anyone else who reaches out to him. Directors, chiefs, firefighters, non-safety employees, mayors, council members, and community members. His blood runs Chino Valley Fire red, and he answers any call whether on or off duty. On Saturday, October 5th, while Jeff was working his normal shift at his usual station, during the annual open house at Station 1 in the training center, defamatory comments about Jeff were made by Director DeMonico to one of Jeff's superiors and around other district employees, as well as another elected official. Director DeMonico called my husband a liar and stated that he couldn't be trusted because of what he did to his father-in-law, referring to the union not endorsing my father nearly 6 years ago. His statements are not only slanderous, but malicious. It is also extremely hurtful to our entire family and has placed undue stress upon us. I am kindly requesting Director DeMonico to refrain from future untrue slanderous comments about our family while he is representing the fire district in his official capacity. I would also like to state that although Jeff has been on the union board for many years, he is not solely responsible for all of the decisions that are made. He, as well as the other union board members, follow the procedures and protocols just like each and every one of you are required to do. Not one person in this room is above laws, rules, policies, and procedures. Each and every one of you should be serving the citizens whom you are elected to represent, as well as the employees of this department, to the very best of your ability, in a professional manner, while respecting others' freedoms without prejudice or imposing fear of retaliation. For the record, my dad and Jeff have a great relationship, as was demonstrated right here in this boardroom 3 months ago, as we all stood here and celebrated Jeff's 30 years of service to this absolutely amazing cities of Chino and Chino Hills, as well as this district. I would like to end with quoting Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we invite up Pete Roebuck.
Good evening, directors, members of the public. I too want to address some concerns, but before that, a text message just came up and we haven't talked about it tonight. And it supersedes all this. This is all completely irrelevant. One of our members lost his son today, and I would really like to take a moment of silence and have you keep Logan in your thoughts and prayers. Logan Tao. Thank you. But before I get into this isn't anything any of us like. We don't like the whole politics and everything that's associated with this, and we're getting drugged through the mud, and it's not right. We're better than that. Let me read what I've written. I'm here to address our decision not to endorse Director John DeMonico in the upcoming election. This was not a decision made lightly, and it's important to understand that it does not in any way diminish our respect and admiration we have for our communities and those who lead them. We have endorsed, supported, and have a long time standing relationship with every elected official in this valley. However, our concern lies with Director DeMonico's unwillingness to meet with us unless we first committed to his endorsement. Director DeMonico sent this text. I quote, "If you want to meet with me and endorse me, I am available. If you're not going to endorse me, then there is no reason to meet." This kind of approach prioritizes political gain over the open, transparent dialogue we expect from our leaders. We need someone who engages in meaningful conversations about the future of the department and community, someone who seeks collaboration, not just support. What's more concerning is that at the October 4th open house, Director DeMonico declined to even shake hands with our firefighters. This is not a behavior we expect from someone in a position of public trust. Our firefighters are here to serve and protect, regardless of political stances. And such actions only create unnecessary divisions. We believe the community deserves leadership that values engagement over politics and collaboration over personal agendas. We are better than this as an organization. Thank you.
The next speaker is Sandra Ortiz.
Good evening, President Luth and members of the board. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. My name is Sandra Ortiz, and I'm a proud employee of Chino Valley Fire. I've been here for 23 years. I've sat on e-boards for our bargaining unit in the past and present, and I'm familiar with negotiating a contract for our membership. In the last 23 years, I've never felt the depth of division and disrespect I feel today. I've always taken pride in working for an organization that cares and values their employees. Because of this, during my tenure with the district, I have volunteered my time to participate in numerous community events throughout the district and given back to the communities that we serve. As you are aware, Teamsters 1932 has unanimously rejected our proposed contract. Our membership feels very strongly that the cost of living wage that is being offered is substandard and does not meet the current rate of inflation. In addition, the health benefit package that is being offered is less than what has been given to other groups in the district. Some of the healthcare premiums within our unit are set to rise 11.69% in 2025. We feel that a benefit package that is equal to what others are receiving in the district is fair. This disparity has sent a clear message to many positions of this administrative staff within the district that we are not equally valued and that this is where division breeds. It is upsetting to see that management units are being offered more in cost of living, healthcare package, and items that are not necessary to conduct their jobs. I believe I speak for many of the employees in administration that we take offense to this and find this disheartening. Without the dedication of the employees in administration, the district would not function as seamlessly as it does. We take great pride in the service that we provide to our communities and work together to accomplish goals and make Chino Valley Fire the district of distinction that it is. A prime example of this is the recent open house that we had this past weekend. We are not asking for anything more than to be treated equally and to be given the same opportunity to best manage the rising cost of inflation by covering our basic needs like cost of living increases and providing equal health care coverage as what is being offered district-wide. Tonight, we ask that you reconsider your proposal. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next is Natalie Ceballos.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Ceballos, and I've been with the Fire District for 5 years. We stand here today on behalf of Teamsters Local 1932, not just as employees, but as dedicated individuals who have given our time, energy, and heart to this fire district. We take great pride in the work we do, serving our community with professionalism and care. However, there is a growing sense among us that our hard work and efforts are no longer being fully appreciated. Over the last few years, something has shifted within the district. The most recent contract negotiations left many of us feeling unheard and undervalued. We understand the importance of fiscal responsibility and challenges that come with budgeting, but at the end of the day, our morale is suffering, and it has become clear that there is a significant and growing distance between the decision makers and their employees. We no longer feel like the essential part of this district the way we once did. There was a time when this department was seen as a destination. People wanted to work here, they wanted to stay here, and they wanted to grow with this district, but that sense of pride is fading, and it's been very difficult to watch. What once felt like a strong, unified team now feels uncertain, and we can see the direct impact on the morale of the staff. That sense of being overlooked is deeply upsetting, not just for me, but for many of us who work behind the scenes to keep this district functioning smoothly. My position has grown with this district, and many of us, including myself, are called upon outside of our regular working hours. We respond because we are committed to the success and well-being of this department. We go above and beyond because we care, yet we don't feel that effort is being acknowledged or valued. There's an increasing disconnect between leadership and the day-to-day reality of the work we do for this district. We need the board to open its eyes and truly see what is happening within this department. Instead of remaining distant or unaware of these issues, we ask you to become more involved and more connected with the people who show up every day for this organization. If we continue down this path without change, the division will only widen, and I speak for not only myself, but also for any future person who may take my place. I believe that together we can turn this around by fostering open communication, mutual respect, and collaboration, and we can restore the sense of value and pride that once defined our department. In closing, I want to emphasize that our union is not asking for any special treatment. We're asking for equality. We want to be seen not just as employees, but as valued contributors to the fire district's mission. Only through mutual respect and recognition can we ensure a future where both the district and its employees thrive together. Thank you for your time, and I urge you to consider the impact these issues are having, not just on the employees, but the future of this fire district.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Dacko. For those who don't know me, I'm a deputy fire marshal here with Chino Valley Fire District. As you can already see, none of us really want to be up here right now doing this, and we're all angry, emotional, and this isn't easy to do. And that's why a lot of us wrote this down, because if we just started talking, it'd probably go really south. So I'm just going to read. I want to start by saying that I am extremely grateful for my job and the opportunities I have had here at CVFD. I've chosen to work here for almost 22 years, and I've always taken pride in this district. District had a history of always putting its employees first and treating them fairly and with respect. Unfortunately, the recent actions of management have clearly shown otherwise. I am disappointed and appalled by the actions of management staff in the district. We have all felt the struggles with the economy and inflation over the past few years, and we were hoping for some relief from the stress of living paycheck to paycheck with at least a fair cost of living increase. As we've consistently seen done in many cities and departments around us, including the city right across the street. Unfortunately, this wasn't the result of our negotiations with the district, and being told that the district will not negotiate with us and we already make enough money and we're not firefighters and don't deserve it is just painful to hear. It really hurts. But then to see an already top-heavy management staff turn around and give themselves a better contract to their already bloated salaries is just a huge slap in the face. The employees of this district are what makes this place a great place, and I have never seen the morale in this building as low as it is right now. Shame on management for making every person in our union and the unrepresented employees feel like they are not valued or appreciated in this department. I've lost my pride and faith in CVFD, and I'm ashamed to work for a department that would choose not to put their most valuable asset, their employees, first. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tori Jung, and I'm a member of Teamsters Local 1932. I joined the district in 2018 as a fire inspector. During my interview process, candidates were tasked to reflect on the district's core values. This task spoke volumes to me about the district's character and commitment to a principled culture. Core values are faithfulness, integrity, respect, and excellence. Teamsters have shown remarkable faithfulness to the district. Our membership continues to show up and produce quality work, even in the current state of low morale and feeling underappreciated. Our Teamsters are tasked with increasing job duties due to fire service advancements in technology. Chino Valley community is also growing with new commercial developments and residents adding to our increased workloads. Despite these challenges, Teamsters have an unwavering commitment to serving and supporting our firefighters and the Chino Valley community. Teamsters have demonstrated the utmost integrity by standing firm in our belief that our worth is worth more than the initial 1%, then 1.5%, and finally 2% offered per contract year. A contract offer that is even less than our current contract percentage that we're in. When other unions are averaging 5% per contract year, we refuse to believe our worth and cost of living adjustments should be anything less than equal. We know we are equally important as the rest of the members that serve this district. Teamsters continue to exemplify respect by continuing to have professional collaboration with our coworkers and supervisors during our negotiation disagreements. We exercise our respect for management by continuing to try to have open and ongoing conversations about our concerns. Respect is a value that is earned and needed on both sides. We are respectfully asking to be treated equally. Our Teamsters, along with many members of our district administration staff, embody excellence. We all continue to work hard because that is what being a civil servant is. Teamsters are dedicated to advancing this district's mission and continuing to deliver top quality service. Teamsters grin and bear the weight of our increasing tasks and responsibilities, even if that means working with limited staffing. All we ask for is for the recognition of our excellent members and for a fair contract that reflects our contributions. In closing, it's truly disappointing to witness the changes that affect morale within our district. It is vital that we collectively reaffirm our commitment to the core values we wear on our sleeves every day. I hope management sees the divide that has been created and makes an effort to close the gap. By doing so, we can restore the sense of unity and purpose that is critical for a collaborative success as a district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is David Diaz.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is David Diaz, and I'm fairly new here. I'm a fire apparatus and fleet mechanic for this district. When I first started here back in February of this month, I was excited and grateful to be given the opportunity to work at what I was told to be one of the best districts to work for. That is up until these negotiations started, and I started feeling a little bit differently. The 6% offer over 3 years is low. The cost of living has increased so much that the offer will make a minimal difference in what I take home during each pay period. What I spend on my personal handles alone is about 6% of my income a year. I can barely afford to live somewhat comfortably in a one-bedroom apartment. I had plans on starting a family soon, but that may have to be put on hold.
It's okay, take your time. Can we just give him a moment? We can bring him back. Okay.
Next, we, oh, sure.
Sorry. My role here as a fire mechanic involves maintaining all of our equipment as best as possible for our firefighters and admin personnel. We do everything possible to minimize the amount of downtime any fire or medical apparatus is out of service. Without us here, the district will have to rely on outside shops and freelance mobile mechanics, and they can upcharge whatever price they want on their services. I come from the private sector of fire shops, and I can assure you that their sense of urgency and commitment to our apparatus back in service is not the same as ours. I have seen apparatus down for months at these shops. We also do not receive any on-call pay, although we are told that we do not need to answer our phones on our off days or off hours. But we do it anyways because we care about what we do here. We take pride in what we do. I do this job to be recognized, or I don't do this job to be recognized or think endlessly. I do it because I love it and it makes me feel like I am part of something special. I want to thank you for the opportunity to work at this district. Well, when all my coworkers seem unhappy and morale feels like it is at an all-time low, it is very disheartening to see. I would like to see myself here in the future. If anything, I would love to be able to retire from here someday. But if this is how future contracts will be handled, I will have to rethink my decision on staying here long-term. I'm not asking me to become rich working for the public. I'm just asking for fairness and to be paid a livable wage for us all.
Thank you.
Next is Jason Rivera.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jason Rivera, Fire Inspector, Investigator, and Sworn Safety Personnel for the Chino Valley Fire District. Over the past few weeks, months, it's been clear that our fire district has experienced some division. I think it's important that we all address this head-on together because we all share the same goal, the success of this district and the work that we do. We all know that when a team is divided, it affects everything. The quality of our work, our relationships, our sense of purpose can all take a hit. I've noticed tension, misunderstandings, and at times, the lack of respect among us. I'm here to say that without our administration personnel, there would be no fire district. We all have different job titles and responsibilities, but during emergency situations, we are called to action, serving the community that we love and take pride in providing the best service to the residents of Chino and Chino Hills. For example, during COVID, we shopped and delivered food for our community members. We respond to tragic incidents when community members are displaced from their own homes, helping them find shelter and resources needed. We entered homes to help install smoke detectors for our seasoned residents. We are not just administration personnel, but we're Chino Valley Fire District personnel who go above and beyond for this community. I believe that if we could come together and communicate, we can create real change. By raising our voices respectfully and collectively, we can make sure that fairness in compensation is no longer a source of division, but a foundation of unity. We will keep pushing for what's right and build a better future where everyone feels valued, respected, and fairly compensated. I ask the board to please address the issues that I just mentioned and make it right while you still can to end this divide. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Those are all the written requests that I have to speak under public communications. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board? Please come forward.
Hi, Board. My name is Abraham Gallegos. I'm the business agent for Teamsters Local 1932. I just want to bring to light what a union is. A union is a group of people that come together to better not only themselves and their families, but their community as well. These unions have brought forth a 40-hour work week, equal rights, equal voting rights, and honestly, this public sector and the right to even form a union in the public sector. Before unions were present, or before public sector unions were even present, public sector didn't have the right to unionize. It was unions that went ahead and provided that pathway because workers needed a safer place to work. Fire departments were ran on who can pay for, who had the highest money to pay to protect their house. And now we have equality and it's a public service. And we provided a pathway for everybody to have this benefit. Our membership deserves to be treated equal. Our membership makes sure that the lights are on, the bills are paid, the smoke detectors are on, that the education to our community is out there for them. They respond to incidents and take down reports and see gruesome scenes every day. Or not every day, hopefully not every day, I apologize, but when the scenes do happen. Our membership is a vital part of this, and this district and this community. And we're just asking for equality. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the board under public communications at this time? Okay, seeing none. Let's see. The next item on our agenda is the liaison reports to the fire district. And we invite up Suzette Dang from San Bernardino County, 4th District. Suzette here? No? Okay.
She's here.
Is she here? Oh, sorry.
I'm too small to be seen. Good evening, President Luth. If you're listening, Vice President Ramos Revenger, Board Directors, Chief Williams, Deputy Chief, staff, and our audience members. My name is Suzette Dang. I'm with your County Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office. I do have one event coming up that I would like to announce. Supervisor Hagman's annual Veteran Claims and Resource event will be on Saturday, November 2nd, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the district office located 14010 City Center Drive in Chino Hills. County Veteran Service Officers will be on site to answer questions about any existing claims or conduct benefit assessment, interviews, complete claim forms or paperwork, and issue San Bernardino County Veteran ID cards. And if you need any file compensation claims or questions, the claim officers will be on site. Please bring your DD Form 214, and snacks will be provided by Supervisor Hagman. And we will have resources in attendance, and they include so far Frontside Military Outreach, Veterans Legal Institute, and Rebel Ranch. It is our honor to assist you in this year's Veteran Claims and Resource event, and we encourage all veterans who need assistance or are looking for resources to join Supervisor Hagman and the San Bernardino County Veterans Affairs Department on November 2nd. This year, we are changing it a little bit different. It is on a Saturday instead of on a weekday, and registration is required. No benefit evaluation will be guaranteed for unregistered attendees. This does not mean that you cannot come. We encourage all veterans to come join us, but we do ask that you call and pre-register. To register, please call 909-465-5265 and ask for Michael or Suzette, myself. And as always, please contact our office for any questions or any assistance on county resources or information. And you can be reached right across the street or call our office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Art Bennett, I don't know if he's here.
No, he
Okay.
won't be here this evening.
Next is Vice President Jeff Taitula, Chino Valley Fire Foundation.
I used to not have these, but I do now. So, Board of Directors, executive staff, members of the public, thank you for coming out tonight. My name is Jeff Taitula. I am the Vice President of the Chino Valley Fire Foundation, as well as Chino Valley Professional Firefighters, Local 3522. So we just, I think it's been covered enough, we just had our open house, which we put behind us. Moving forward, we have the State of the District here coming up. It's on the 24th of this month, and you can purchase tickets on the Fire Foundation's website. I'm really hoping that we can put a better foot forward at that event. Also coming up, and maybe Natalie can help me on this, we are assisting Luchador with an event, Hops in the Hills, on the 9th of November. I don't know what time it is, but I know a portion of the proceeds from that event, I'm sorry? 12 to 4, and a portion of those proceeds are gonna go to our Fire Foundation. And then looking forward a couple months, but it's probably our biggest month of the year, December. If you could mark your calendars for the Stuff the Boot, which will be in both Chino and Chino Hills at the Spectrum and the Shops on the 8th of December. And then we'll be looking to help some kids celebrate an early Christmas on the 11th at Make a Child Smile. So, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for listening to all the concerns, and there are concerns. I have concerns, and Director DeMonico, I'm ashamed of things that you've actually said about me publicly to supervisors while in the role
Jeff,
of a director.
I would have preferred that you would have pulled a speaker card because this is a foundation. So if you'd like to pull a speaker card for a future one, and if you can keep it for the foundation at this time, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Respectfully, thank you.
as the vice president of the foundation, I don't believe my name should be dragged through the mud by a fire director. Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Steve Eli, would you like to address the board?
I said everything I had to say earlier, so thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes our liaison reports to the fire district, and the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar.
Madam Clerk, representative from the Fire Safety Council.
Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you. I apologize. I apologize.
It's okay.
You were so quiet tonight, Charlie.
I didn't even see.
Don't get me started over there.
Sorry, Charlie. Sorry
Good
about
evening,
that.
President Luth, Vice President Ramos Evinger, members of the directors, Chief Williams, staff. This will be very short. Jeff actually saw me on Saturday. We did our brush pickup. Unfortunately, every year it happens to coincide with the open house. We picked up 8 tons of brush, trees, palm fronds. That's 16,000 pounds that cannot burn in the district. So we've been very lucky. West Waste Management has been terrific. They show up on time, they switch it out on time, and they come to finish it at time, which is okay by me. But it really has worked out very well, and we do it twice a year, and it's been an unmitigated success. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And Charlie, I'm so glad you came because I didn't call you to get the information about the brush pickup, so I really appreciate it. And I was wondering if you could take this. I have, this is for the Fire Safe Council. Thank you. I'm not sure if you're gonna stay for the full meeting, so I'd rather give you, okay? Okay, just making sure.
Oh, thank you.
He's gonna start charging you union wages.
Thank you again. And the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar.
Okay, do we have any public comment on the consent calendar?
I have no written request to speak on the consent calendar. Is anyone present who would like to address the board on this item at this time? Seeing none.
Okay, seeing none, if any board member wishes to pull an item from the consent calendar for discussion, please state the item number you wish to pull.
I'll move to approve. And I'll second it.
Okay, so I have a motion by Director Krieger and a second by Vice President DeMonico. I'm going to take a roll call voice vote. And Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Director Howie?
Yes.
Director Krieger?
Yes.
And President Luth?
Yes.
Okay, and myself, yes. So it passes 5-0.
Okay, the next item on the agenda under new business is item number 8. Resolution number 2024-16 pertaining to unrepresented confidential employee compensation. The purpose is to present for approval changes to compensation and benefits for unrepresented confidential employees. And the report tonight is by Human Resources Director Anthony Arroyo.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Board. The item this evening is a resolution for the Fire District's unrepresented confidential employees. The group consists of a senior IT analyst, accountant, payroll administrator, deputy clerk of the board, and 2 HR specialists. The resolution that is included with the report lists what was presented to the group based on the authority provided by the board. That concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
Yes, Vice President Ramos Evinger, we do have written requests to speak, and our first request is by Chris Roberts.
I will echo, it's not easy to do this here right now in this situation, and I have a different statement written. It's not the same thing as earlier, but I'm going to open up with my background. So this opening statement will be the same as earlier, but the other information is all new information here. So good evening, President Luth, members of the board. My name is Chris Roberts, the Senior IT Analyst for the Fire District. I've been an employee of the district for just over 9 years. Prior to being an employee, I was contracted to support the district for over 8 years, totaling 16 years of support. I'm a member of the confidential bargaining unit, and I'm not management, even though my duties reflect those as a manager. This contract and the changes proposed today affect me personally, and I don't think they are in the best interest of the district. The district, I know, would not divide us and label us any less than any less than other employees. The district has always tried to unite us, move forward, and value us equally. I want to mention this because I've been told I make too much money and I'm not a safety employee, so I deserve nothing. However, there are administrative staff who are safety employees who wear the same badges as firefighters and are not getting offered the same cost of living adjustment as suppression personnel. How is that equal or fair? Especially considering we have experienced some of the highest inflation in recent years. This inflation should be no surprise to the district, as it's been discussed during these meetings while approving budgets, projects, services, and even navigating the construction of Station 68. The inflation has helped the district financially, though, as we feel the effect of rising home prices in the district. The increasing cost of home values have helped our budgets since we rely on portions of property taxes for revenue. However, the inflation has not helped employees with gas, food, and insurance premiums, nor does this contract reflect it tonight. I've been told personally that this contract decision is made by the board. So the board has ability tonight to do what's right for the employees. I was never consulted or questioned about determining if my job was exempt or overpaid, but I was told it was compared to other agencies. If my job was properly compared to other agencies, you can easily see that my duties reflect those of a manager and that IT is understaffed. We also knew this when we created my position here 9 years ago, as a proper study was completed and it was determined it's a 3 to 4 person department. After 4 years by myself, we expanded to 2 full IT staff. I will end with this. I've always been dedicated to the district, and I always consider the public's best interest in making my decisions. Thank you.
The next written request to speak is Vicki Barnes.
Good evening. My name is Vicki and I am the district's payroll administrator. I respectfully come before you today because I'm troubled by what appears to be a change in the opinion of my value to this district. I am a member of the confidential unit and therefore do not participate in contract negotiations. As in the past, our group presented items for consideration to management. We didn't ask for specific salary or health benefit increases because the district and board have always been fair and equitable. We did include a few detailed requests, but all of those were rejected, and the salary increases given were very low. We were told we get paid too much and that the board wanted to give us nothing. Insurance rates alone are increasing significantly, and yet our group was not even being given a cost of living increase. I've been with the district for over 19 years, starting under HR manager Terry Hope Nelson, and then moving to payroll when Christy Kuchwara took her place. I, along with one or more of you directors, were here for the creation of every confidential position that exists today. Much research, position comparisons, management, and employee input was put into these positions to ensure that their descriptions and associated pay scales were appropriate. One key factor that was considered when developing my position's pay scale was the fact that, unlike most agencies, I am a payroll department of one. My duties are intricate and many. I handle all aspects of payroll, W-2s, CalPERS reporting, district taxes, state controller's report, workers' comp reconciliation, budget, audit, and valuation work, and more. I must often put aside my personal time to work on various special needs of the district. I'm currently spending my nights and weekends working on multiple complex projects, as well as tending to my regular duties. I was fortunate that former HR Director Kuchwara had the personal experience to know how much work was involved in my position, and that my supervisor, Steve Heidi, had a keen understanding of this as well. The board listened to their staff report and additional commentary provided by both of them and Fire Chief Shackelford and approved it. I don't understand what has changed. Although I'm speaking as a confidential member, it is clear that the same message is being given to all non-management admin staff, that we are less than. With like-mindedness, the board and management have always had the employees' best interests at heart, and at every level, we have always been valued equally and as necessary components to making this district a success. Our mission, vision, and values states that we appreciate our members, that we respect and treat each other with compassion, dignity, and value. These no longer seem to be part of the objective, and after 19 years, I find myself in the difficult position of having to defend my worthiness. I'm very confused and discouraged as to why we are no longer valued. It's affecting my health and my well-being, and I ask that you not forget my importance
Excuse
to
me.
the district and
I'm
that I am
sorry to
worthy of
interrupt.
more
Please
than what has been
just
designated
stop
for
wrapping
me.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are all the written requests I have to speak on this item. Is there anyone else present who would like to address the board? Seeing none.
Okay, this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director DeMonico?
No comments.
Okay, Director Howie?
I don't have a comment.
Okay, Director Krieger?
No.
All right, President Luth?
No comments.
Okay, and I don't have any comment on this item as well. At this time, I would like to request a motion.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion on the table. Can I have a second?
Yeah, no second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Director Krieger and a second by Director Howie. And I'm going to take a roll call voice vote. And Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Director Howie?
Yes.
Director Krieger?
Yes.
President Luth?
Yes.
And myself, yes, and this will pass 5-0.
The next item on the agenda is agenda item number 9, resolution number 2024-17 pertaining to unrepresented management employee compensation. The purpose is to present for approval changes to compensation and benefits for unrepresented management employees. Report by John McKeat of Atkinson, Andelson, Lawyer, Rudd, and Romo.
Good evening. Pursuant to the Brown Act, I am providing you an oral report summarizing the recommendation before the board this evening for unrepresented management employees, some of whom qualify as local agency executives. All salaries, salary schedules, and compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits are included as part of this published agendized item. The following recommended changes include, but are not limited to, the following. A salary increase of 5% effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2024, 3% effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2025, and 3% effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2026. Additional district contribution of $250 per month to the cafeteria benefit plan effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2024, for a total of $1,815 per month. An additional $135 per month to the cafeteria benefit plan effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2025, for a total of $1,950, and an additional $250 per month to the cafeteria benefit plan effective the first pay period that includes July 1, 2026, for a total of $2,200. All other recommended compensation and benefits are included within the published materials. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any requests to speak on this?
I have no written request to speak on this item. Is anyone present who would like to address the board on this item at this time? Okay, seeing none.
Okay, this is a time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions and make your remarks when I call your name. Director DeMonico?
No comments.
Director Howie?
No comment.
Director Krieger?
No comment.
President Luth?
No comment.
I don't have any comment as well. At this time, I would like to request a motion
Make a motion to approve.
and a second.
I'll second it.
And I will now request a voice vote. So, Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Director Howie?
Yes.
Director Krieger?
Yes.
President Luth?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Motion passes 5-0.
The next item on the agenda is agenda item number 10, amendment to agreement number 2011-03 with Best and Krieger LLP. The purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and consider an amendment to the legal services agreement number 2011-03 with Best and Krieger for general counsel and special counsel legal services. And the report is by Fire Chief Dave Williams.
Thank you, Angela. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, District Legal Counsel Services as a local agency executive and under the Brown Act, the board must hear an oral report before formal action is taken on a contract that includes salaries, salary schedules, or compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits. District Legal Counsel is contracted by the district, and accordingly there are no benefits provided. All compensatory costs are charged at an hourly rate based on billed work. The contract amendment includes an hourly rate for general legal services at $305 per hour, that's $305 per hour for attorneys, and $185 per hour for non-attorneys. The contract includes a lower blended rate on Public Records Act matters and a higher hourly rate for special counsel or complex legal services as set forth in the agendized report. This concludes my report, and I will now read the recommendation. It is recommended that the Board of Directors review and consider the legal services amendment with Best and Krieger, BBK, for Isaac Rosen to serve as District Legal Counsel, which includes new special counsel rates if BBK undertakes specialized work on behalf of the district, and authorize the Fire Chief to execute the legal services amendment subject to any minor technical or non-substantive changes as approved by the Fire Chief.
Okay, Clerk of the Board, do we have any requests to speak?
I have no written request to speak on this item. Is there anyone present who would like to address the board at this time? Seeing none.
Okay, this is time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director DeMonico?
No comments.
Okay, Director Howie?
No comment.
Director Krieger?
No.
President Luth?
No comment.
Okay. I don't have any comments as well. At this time, I would like to make a motion, or I'd like to ask for a motion.
So moved.
Okay. I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion and second. I will now take a roll call voice vote. Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Director Howie?
Yes.
Director Krieger?
Yes.
President Luth?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. The motion passes 5-0. Okay. All right, next we have Fire Chief comments. Fire Chief Dave Williams, do you have any comments?
Yes, thank you, Vice President Ramos-Avenger. Under Board Activities and Public Relations on Saturday, October 5th, the Chino Valley Fire District hosted its open house event. We had a great turnout. I think we were about 1,500 overall community members participate, so it was a great showing. Under the Human Resource Update, the position of Fire Inspector closed. Approximately 18 candidates will be interviewed for one vacant position. The position of Deputy Clerk of the Board is open now for recruitment, so we'd encourage anybody that's qualified to consider applying here at the Fire District. Under upcoming meetings and events, October 22nd, the Confire hosted an administrative committee meeting. October 24th will be our State of the District luncheon, so we invite you to, we do still have a few open spots, so we'd invite you to either buy a table or come as an individual and join us for our Fire District luncheon. On November 6th, Papa Chino's will be hosting a breakfast for all of our personnel that would like to attend and go have breakfast on Papa Chino. November 11th, the City of Chino's Veterans Day event will be hosted at the community building. And under Confire items of interest, the court granted the motion for a preliminary injunction on behalf of AMR. And as a result, Confire is still in the process of determining next steps. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief. Now it's time for the board committee reports. This is time for the board to comment. Please provide any comments when I call your name. Director DeMonico.
I'm going to forego my comments tonight, no comments.
Okay. Director Howie.
Thank you, Sarah. Just a few comments. First of all, I would like to say I know how difficult it is to come up and speak before any board, whether it's a council meeting or a fire board, and I appreciate everybody coming up and giving their comments. And I did listen and I did hear everybody. So just want to make that comment before I congratulate our our honorees tonight for their service in the years. Just a couple items, met with the chief, city council meeting, went to the county planning meeting at Chino Library. The county came out and did a big show at Chino Library, and for the time that I was there was like 4 people there. I don't know if they didn't publicize it or what. I mean, they had a huge staff talking about what all the different things that's happening in the planning in the county as far as all the different county areas. And then I also attended Assemblyman Freddie Rodriguez's event, the fire open house, and had a meeting this morning regarding Chino Prison. Nothing really new to report on the prison. They've got about 2,270 inmates at the prison right now, and there's still 43 of the worst of the worst. They're highly condemned. They have 43, and they don't think they're going to get many more because I think San Quentin is just about emptied of those particular prisoners. And that's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Director Krieger.
All right, I was one of the 4 people that attended the land use by the county, and yeah, lots of staff, very few public there. I also attended the celebration for Freddie Rodriguez with his retirement from the assembly, school district meetings, and Chino Hills meetings. And like Tom said, I truly do appreciate everybody coming out tonight and speaking. You know, I've never heard somebody say that that they're paid too much, that the directors wanted to pay nothing. That's furthest from the truth. You know, it bothers me that that's the narrative that's out there. So I wish they were still here to hear that, and hopefully they watched the meeting. But I really do appreciate them, and I value all of our employees. And I'll leave it at that for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. President Luth?
Yes, just a couple quick notes. Thank Steve Eli and the IEUA board for recognizing our fine district and the work they do. Thank you and congratulations to all of our service recognitions and the open house. Just thank everyone that was involved. I was interacting with a number of our staff and firefighters and saw how they were engaging with the community and the fun and enjoyment that all the kids that were there were having. My grandkids especially enjoyed Sparky's story time, and so thank you to everyone who put that together and made it happen. It was a great event. That's the end of my comment.
Okay, thank you very much, President Luth. I attended agenda review meeting, which was on tonight's meeting, and a Fire Safe Council on the 2nd. Also, I've had several. We do our annual trunk or treat for the children in the canyon. So I've had several of those meetings, and everything's coming along. CSDA member service meeting. I had a CSDA professional development committee meeting. The open house, I want to thank everyone for their hard work and for bringing that forward. And it was a great, nice little changes, and everybody enjoyed it. I have to agree with Sparky's story time because my granddaughter, who kind of was a little out there, she made decided to go sit with Sparky. It was great. That was a wonderful added. Plus, the room was filled with young children, and they all really enjoyed it. It was very cute the way it was presented. Also, you know, what is always a hit is the presentation of the various fire activities that we do, and that always draws a nice crowd out there. So, also had a Human Resources Committee meeting, Chino Hills Council meeting, and Director Eli, thank you very much for here. Thank you for being a valued partner in our community. We appreciate that partnership. And I just want to thank the district and everyone for always acknowledging Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Still many who are affected by that. I wish I had the gal who was at the council meeting. I think maybe next year invite her. She's just such a joy for someone who's gone through such a tragedy, and she's turned that around so eloquently, I have to say. Also our, Fire Prevention Week and all the Employee Service Awards. I just want to thank everybody for their dedication to our community, to our service. And to see Edmund and Kyle at 20 years. That's really, really special. So I also want to take the time to thank everybody for the comments this evening as well. I know they're hard. I know that some of them very tough, very heartfelt, full of emotion. They were all over. I did hear some comments as well, so thank you very much for bringing that, how we don't value, how we don't respect or care. I can honestly speak for everybody that we do care about this department. We do care about each employee, but we also care about the longevity. We are responsible stewards for this. And sometimes we have to make tough decisions that we don't want to make. And it's tough. I thank everyone for the courage to come before, and I also encourage you in the future to please come before us and speak whenever you do have that concern. And I really, really appreciate the professionalism tonight that was displayed. I thank you that there were a couple little, comments or that. I have to keep with policy and cut you off at 3 minutes. I know that's rude, but that is policy and I have to remain consistent. So for those who felt I was rude about that, I have to maintain the meeting and do that, and I just want to put that out there. So with that, Pete, thank you for bringing it up about the passing of Logan. And tonight we are going to adjourn the meeting in memory of Logan. And I'm going to read a statement. We are saddened by the tragedy that has affected one of our own. We were informed today that Logan Masamoe Tau, born on 12/13/2010, passed away early this morning of 10/8/2024. We ask that you continue praying over Brother Russell and his family. BC Gable and Captain Flores have been designated as the district's point of contact for Russell and his family. And I'm really sad because he was just a little joy. Every time I saw him, he was a little joy. So with that, I better get back to I'm going to conclude tonight's meeting, and it'll be adjourned to the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District to be held on Wednesday, November 13th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Fire District Administrative Headquarters located at 14011 City Center Drive, Chino Hills, California. Thank you everyone for coming.